Hi, we're here with Hometown TV today in Summit on Father's Day, which I guess for a lot of dads, cars are their passion. Right, Liz?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's a little overcast, but it's a good day to look at all these cars. There are tons of automobiles here. Everything from vintage American cars to some very expensive foreign cars.
Right. Well, actually, let's describe. It's actually Cars and Croissants.
That's what it is.
It's Cars and Croissants. So why don't we find the creators of Cars and Croissants and take a look?
Okay, let's get started.
Okay. I'm with Kurt and Abdi, the creators of Cars and Croissants. So tell us a little bit about how you created this whole concept.
Sure. I guess what happened first is my daughter, who was then 16, organized a charity event. It was a drive to raise money for my son's school, and Abby and I met in that process. We both, obviously are very interested in cars, and after we did that event, we got together and said, it was a lot of fun. We ought to do this more often. So Abby was aware of a location that could hold us, and there was a bakery there. That was a French bakery, so that's where the croissants comes from. And so it was 4 years ago, right? About 4 years ago. We had our first event, and we had about 30 cars there at the first event.
Really? So how many members do you have now?
I think we're probably about 1,000 people on the email list right now.
So how do they go on an email list, or you just word of mouth? What happens?
We have a Yahoo group, so to kind of formalize it. But it's really grown by word of mouth mostly.
Wow, it is amazing.
Keeps getting bigger every year. I don't know how many cars are here today, probably 400, 500 cars.
Well, I must tell you, I've never seen so many exotic cars in my life. And all I can say is I'm doing something wrong. Because I'm thinking, what is going on?
Yeah, it's interesting, and many of the people here have many cars too.
I heard. Actually, I had to find the tax doctor, which I saw 3 cars driving by.
Yeah, he has some very good cars.
Wow. Well, thank you for bringing this to Summit. It's wonderful for our downtown Summit.
We appreciate Summit hosting us here. They offered up the location and wanted to be our host for Father's Day, and we really appreciate that. We knew we'd have a large turnout today. Didn't know it'd be quite this big, but we're happy that there's a great turnout today.
Well, thank you again, and you have beautiful cars, and hopefully you can take me for a test drive.
Sure.
Hi, I'm with Lake Underwood and Greg Drummond, the local founders or local members of the Cars and Croissants. So what do you think about this event? You did a great job.
Incredible. This took me about 2 years to come to fruition here in Summit. I'd like to thank the Boris property people, Cassandra and George Paris. Mark Yeager is giving us another additional lot a block away. Kurt of Cars and Croissants has been very helpful to have this event staged here for the first time, and Abdi as well. Yes. And finally, the City of Summit. Chief Weck has been great. Chris Cotter's been great. We have a great turnout, a little bit of rain, but it's a beautiful day, and we're having 400 new people come to downtown Summit to enjoy our farmers market and hopefully stay for lunch and to shop some of our stores downtown. So it's all win-win, and thanks everyone for coming here today.
Well, you did a great job.
7 o'clock this morning. We were in here directing traffic. We had people coming from Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New York City, Hoboken, Jersey City, on and on and on. They're coming from all over Bergen County. So it's been quite a success. And we want to thank the Boris Properties people once again, and Kirk and Avi for starting this years ago to benefit the Somerset Learning Center.
Wonderful. It is such a wonderful event. And as I said before, I don't think I've seen so many exotic cars. And, it'd be even better if they could take us on a test drive.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Yes.
Yeah. Really?
And
okay.
Also all the children and families that are coming here is a wonderful event, and it only lasts a couple hours every 2 weeks. So if you want to see this at another spot, there's a website, CNC, and you get on the website and they'll tell you where the events will be held, and everyone's always welcome.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Well, I'm here with Brian, and he's got this Lotus here. Brian, tell us a little bit about this car.
This is a 2005 Lotus Elise. This is the first year they were available in the U.S. I bought this car in 2008 with about 3,000 miles on it.
Where'd you find it?
I bought this at a Lotus dealership in Hopewell, Princeton area, New Jersey.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you drive it every day?
I don't drive it every day, but on a beautiful day like today, it's a joy to take out, yeah.
Does the wife get to drive it?
She could if she'd like to, but she doesn't drive a stick, so she doesn't. I would let her, though.
Well, very good. You enjoy the day, and glad to meet you.
I'm with Dave, also known as the Nut King. Are you nuts about your car? Like, what's the backstory with that name?
The name is because I buy and sell nuts for a living. So it's easier to remember than Dave. There are way too many Daves.
Okay.
I am nuts about my car, but I do wish I had a Renault 5 Le Car. Would be my dream car.
Why is that?
Well, actually, I'd like the mid-engine one, the Renault 5 Turbo 2 from the 70s, which is a kind of crazier than this even.
Yeah.
But no, this is a fabulous thing. Never regretted buying it for a second. So.
Now, do you drive it often?
As often as I can.
It is a beautiful car. How fast does it go?
In theory, I think it's 193, but
So
that would be a little bit offensive on
So
the
how
public way.
fast do you take it to?
I've driven it on the track. So on the track, it's depending on where you go, but about 140.
Not
But
bad.
it's more about acceleration and the cornering and the brakes, and it's a fantastic machine.
It's
Just the
beautiful.
brakes and the steering alone are fantastic. You don't need to go fast.
No.
So,
Well, you have a Porsche. You need to go fast.
well, it's nice to be able to go fast.
All right. It was a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Nucking.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I'm glad that's not my car.
I'm here with Jim and Kevin, and I think we have the only two McLarens in New Jersey. Guys, tell us a little bit about these cars. Where you got them?
Well, I got mine from McLaren Philadelphia. I believe you got yours in Dallas.
Bought
right?
mine in Dallas. Had it
Yeah.
shipped up from Dallas about 2 months ago.
So, and yeah, I'm not sure they're the only two, but mine is number 543 of the total production so far. I think they made about 1,800 to date worldwide.
Okay.
It's a coupe. They now make a Spider, which is most of the new production is all the convertibles. Very usable car. It's actually a very comfortable ride. Not like a lot of other sort of supercars. You don't even, sometimes you feel like you're kind of just floating along there. It's not really that harsh.
But very comfortable car. I mean, I could take it for 3 hours and drive and
Really?
get out and feel like refreshed.
And that's not common in a car that does 207 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Furthest I've been is up to Monticello
Okay.
to the track that's up there, but it's.
Well, that must have been fun, huh?
Oh yeah, it really comes to life on the track.
Okay.
So.
Well, good meeting you guys, and enjoy your cars. Good luck with them.
Oh, thanks.
Richard Stein from Prime Brook. He is nicknamed, AKA the Tax Doctor. So tell us a little bit about your cars and what you do to raise money with them.
Okay, right now I have three Ferraris, a Ferrari Enzo, a Ferrari 599 GTO, and a Ferrari 458 Spider. I'll also be getting a Ferrari F12 in a few weeks.
Wow.
I enjoy the cars, but what I do, about 7 years ago I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and at that point in time I realized it was time to see the flowers rather than the weeds, and time to do something good with my life.
Right.
So about every 3-4 weeks, for different events, I use my cars to raise money.
Right.
And either there'll be a raffle where people will buy tickets, and the winner gets to spend 2 hours with me in the car and either ride it or drive it.
Right.
And then also sometimes at silent auctions, people will bid on it, and the highest bidder gets to use my car for 2 hours. The most that I've ever raised in one event was $6,500 for
Wow.
Autism Speaks.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and usually it's about $2,000-3,000 the car raises for a weekend. Since I've been doing this, I've raised almost $200,000 for various charities.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's something I feel I'm giving. I'm a show off, but I'm a show off that shares.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you for sharing with Hometown TV News. We're going to take pictures of your beautiful cars, and if I knew how to drive a stick shift, I would definitely take you up on that.
Let me just tell you, the newer Ferraris,
Yeah.
you can press a button and they become automatics.
Get out.
And there's no more stick shifts. They're all paddles.
Love it. Will you teach me how to do that?
I will more than be happy to.
Great. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Same here.
And thank you for all the wonderful work you do with the different charities around.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you again.
Okay, bye-bye.
It's a 250 GTE Ferrari.
Okay. Scott came all the way over from New York to be here today. And tell us a little bit about your car, where you got it. And
I found the car out in Washington State. It was purchased for the fellow that I bought it from as a 16th birthday present. He used it for a couple of years, repainted it in giallo, which is this fly yellow color, and ran it for a couple of years and put it away for the next 30 and decided to sell it before he moved to New Zealand. And I just happened to find it on the internet, and I'd always loved these particular cars, this particular model, because it's so atypical Ferrari. It doesn't really look like your standard Ferrari. It looks more like an English car or even an American car.
do you drive it often?
Just about every week or two, I take it out, stretch its legs, and enjoy the car.
That's what they were made to do.
Oh yeah, this is a great highway cruiser, and that's where it's happiest.
We're looking at a 1980 BMW M1, something we don't get to see very often. Phil, tell us a little bit about this car.
Well, it's a 6-cylinder straight six. I mean, that's kind of exhausted my mechanical knowledge. I'm a mechanical village idiot, but I'm a car nut. So I've always wanted one of these cars. They made about 399 of them.
Right.
79, I think 79 to 81, and I found one in Atlanta 2 or 3 years ago.
Did you?
I reluctantly pulled it out of the hand of the seller. His girlfriend was making him sell it to buy a log cabin. So
well, to each
I
his
thought
own.
you can always go camping in it. There's plenty of space for two.
Do you drive it regularly?
Yeah, I put about 5,000 kilometers on it in the 2 or 3 years I've had it.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I drive it as much as humanly possible.
Well, that's good.
It's a good family car.
Is it really?
No, not so much.
Is this the original color of the
Yeah,
vehicle?
this is all as it was.
Okay, good. All right, well, thanks for showing it to us. I appreciate it
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Rob Francis, and here at Cars and Croissants. And you know what? Rob has a bunch of cars, but the most intriguing car is this TR6.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the history and the story about this car.
Well, this TR6 I bought from the original owner in California. My father had this identical car in 1974, and it was always his favorite car. And for the last 10 years, I was trying to find the exact car that he had, and I tracked it down. I got it from the original owner. It's never been restored. It's just the way it came out of the factory. And when I had called the fellow who owned it, he had sold it 3 days before I bought it, or I called him on it. So he sold it to a broker in Long Island. The broker in Long Island sold it to a friend of his in Texas. The friend of his in Texas said, you know what, old cars just aren't for me. I want a Bentley. He sold it back to the guy in Long Island, and I bought it from him. And it's identical to the one that they had, and I gave it to my father for Father's Day.
And you showed us the picture, which is wonderful.
Yeah, it's my mom in there in 1974, and here I was 9 years old in the car in 1974.
What?
So, yeah, it's fun.
That
It's
is
a great
wonderful.
find. Yeah.
And you know what? What a great, story for Father's Day.
Yeah,
no
that
less.
was great. Yeah, yeah, very
Thank you for
happy.
sharing all of your beautiful cars.
You're welcome.
What year is this, Aaron?
It's an 02 Murcielago. It's first year of the Murcielago, 6-speed.
Okay.
V12, 6.2 liter.
And where did you find it?
Actually, I found it up in Albany. I bought it from the original owner not that long ago. 5,000 miles. It's got 6,000 on it now. I put about 1,000 miles in a month.
So you drive this regularly?
No. It's just cars and coffee, and maybe some fun runs up in Bear Mountain, and things like that.
The color combination is really delightful.
Yeah. So this is the blue Hera over Blanco Polar, which is the white.
Yep. Okay.
See, it's a white interior.
Okay.
So.
Really, really nice. Well, thank you for showing it to us. I really appreciate it. Thanks
you
for coming.
Hi, I'm with Lee, and tell me about this beautiful car.
This is a 2012 Boss 302 Mustang, Laguna Seca version, which they made, what they call a limited edition car. It's designed as a street legal car, but it's perfectly appropriate to take on the track and do some fun laps. Not a full race car. I use it for time trial.
Wow. Let me tell you, when you drove in, I just heard the engine. I was like, I have to get into that car.
It does sound lovely.
Oh, lovely is not the word. It's beautiful.
It does.
How fast have you taken it?
Well, that's the question everyone wants to ask when they see what what looks like a fast car.
Yeah.
And the answer is maybe 150 miles an hour.
That's pretty fast.
It is, but for those of us that go to the track, it's really not about how fast you can go. It's about how quick you are getting around the track, and doing it safely is probably more important than how fast you go.
Wow, it looks like it'd probably handle really well.
It handles very well. As a matter of fact, this car is a funny story to this car. I drive around in I have a couple of other track cars. I have a couple of Porsches, but I drive around in a truck.
You're kidding.
That's right.
You go to Home Depot, I'm sure.
Yes, I do, on occasion. So I thought, well, I'd like to get a car that I can use as a daily driver and get myself out of that truck. So I said, well, that new Mustang looks kind of interesting. So I bought it, and as soon as I was driving it home from the dealer, and I said, oh no, big mistake, this is another track car. because it does. It handles beautifully.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it is absolutely superbly balanced, and it's very interesting to see the way that technology has improved over the years. That now a car like this that you can buy for half of what a Porsche will cost, this car handles every bit as well as cars costing at least twice as much.
Wow.
So it's a real testament to what engineering is capable of these days, and kind of nice to see an American car as capable as this one is.
It is wonderful, and I'll get your address so I can take it for the weekend.
Okay. Can I come?
All right. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh,
It's
my
such a
pleasure. Thank
beautiful
you.
car.
For those who have high-performance cars and those who have cars that are faster than, quite frankly, should be driven on public municipal streets, if you've got that kind of a car, if you've got a Porsche, if you've got a Ferrari, and you do want to take it to the next level safely, get involved with Hooked on Driving. These guys will get you trained. They will teach you how to drive on the track safely at speed. And earlier we were talking about how fast you go. It's really not about how fast you go. It's about how well you can drive the car and how safe you are on the track. And I think what I found over the years, and what many of us find that race and time trial our cars over the years, is the more you drive on the track, the safer you are when you're driving on these public streets and byways, because you know what the car is capable of. You understand how dangerous a situation can be if you do something inappropriate.
I'm not sure if my SUV can qualify, but who knows?
Bring it on.
Okay. It is a BMW, though.
All right. What did I say?
Peter, what are we looking at here?
This is my 1967 Avanti 2. I keep telling people it's not an original, but a close copy. Studebaker built the originals in 63 and 64. Avanti Motors continued to build them from 66 through 1991. This is actually one of the leftover Studebaker bodies that was built in 64 by Studebaker, but utilized by Avanti Motors for this 67.
Very good. Now I understand you have another one too.
I have an original Studebaker Avanti at home. It's in need of some repair.
Okay, I'm sure you'll get that on the road.
Yes. I've owned that one a little longer than this one here, but I've owned Studebakers since the 1970s.
They were great cars, and it's too bad they went out. So,
yes.
And how long have you owned this one?
I bought this one in 2005.
Okay. You drive it regularly?
I drive this one semi-regularly. It's not an everyday car, but I take it around to a lot of these different car shows and to our national meets once a year around the country.
And they're held all over the place?
We hold them in different cities around the country, different states. This particular year, it's going to be in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
And you're going, I'm sure.
I'm planning to go.
With this car?
With this car. I was in South Bend, Indiana with this car last year.
And you drive it out?
I drive it.
Okay.
I'm in what we call the Studebaker Drivers Club.
That's good.
And the club actually started before Studebaker went out of business. It was a club that was put together by owners to get better service for their vehicles.
Okay.
And since Studebaker went out of business, it has become sort of a collector car club, but we still emphasize the driving part of it. Okay. And a lot of people drive our cars all over the country.
Now, what color is this called?
It's called Champagne Gold.
Okay. Very pretty combination.
Yes, it is. It's a rather tame car for the era. The late 60s was noted for psychedelic type cars with shag rugs and everything. This particular car was owned originally by a doctor in LaPorte, Indiana.
Okay. Well, that's okay. This car is very classic, and
yes,
this is the right color for the car. Well, thank you, Peter, for sharing it with us. I appreciate it
nice
very much.
meeting you.
Take care.
Okay.
And I'm here with Scott Butler with this beautiful Cobra. Tell me about your car.
This is a replica of a 1965 Shelby Cobra, AC Cobra, and I've had it for about 2.5 years now, and believe it or not, this was a birthday present to me from my wife when I turned 40, if you can believe that.
Okay, I did not get my 40th birthday present like that. Wow.
And I drive it as much as humanly possible, and whenever the weather's nice, I'm out on the road with it. But it's also tough. I have 2 very young sons at home, and it gets hard to.
Yeah.
There's no room for baby seats in these cars. So.
No. It's beautiful, and the bigger question is, what are you getting your wife for her 40th birthday?
She turned 40 before I did, and I threw her a big party, but it
Okay.
was in no way in comparison to this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
You got to make it up for her 50th.
So 50, all right, 50, she's going to Paris or someplace, I don't know.
Yeah, yes indeed.
Right. No, the ante has been upped, yes.
A little bit. Well, enjoy your beautiful car.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for
appreciate you
sharing
stopping
your
by.
story.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Well, Liz, what a wonderful day we had, and what a wonderful way to celebrate Father's Day. What do you think?
Oh, what a fantastic event.
Yeah.
And, the cars are just spectacular.
We've seen some outstanding machinery. This has just been a delight. Now, I understand they do this every 2 or 3 weeks, but on a smaller scale.
Right.
So, and where can people get our schedule? I guess, or they can go on cnc.com, I think?
I believe so. That's what they're saying.
All right. Well, folks, that's it for today.
Uh-oh.
Hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Be careful, we're going to be run over by cars.
No, we're not. No, we're not. If you have to be run over, it should be by one of these.
Exactly.
Keep the car. She won.
It's not all about Ferrari.
That's great.
Or that.
Thanks, pal.
Gonna be on TV?
Yes.